Good afternoon. I'm Consuelo, and I first want to share my condolences. My prayers are with you. This is a very difficult time for anyone to be leaving a family because of the circumstances of the pandemic. I hear through the media and others who have shared how difficult it must be to not be able to say goodbye. So on behalf of my family, if you have lost a family member, our deepest condolences. We are with you. To our FLI families, I miss you. I miss the stories. I miss being with you. You are the food to my soul. So a wonderful shout out to all of our beautiful families from Washington State, all the different communities there, to California. I think of our parents in San Bernardino, Riverside, Rialto, San Jacinto. I think about Oregon, Williams County, California. I think about Othello, our migrant families that are out in the fields working, and I understand are not necessarily in the center of the aid that is being given, and I know that we can do something. I know I will do something to our migrant workers who are facing so many dangers. Thank you. Thank you for feeding us. To our sister in Oklahoma, Jackie Tucker, and all the families that she's serving through the GERA program at the University of Central Oklahoma, please know that we love you. Stay safe. I know probably the campus is closed and that you still have a wonderful relationship with all our families. Please convey our love. To Florida, Osceola, New York, where it's the last city that I left before we were shut down or put into staying at home, particularly Brooklyn. Janice Ross, our friends in New York City, our prayers, we send you love, and we will keep you in our hearts forever and still. To Texas, to our San Antonio, Spring, to the many places where the FLI perhaps has a longer period, our New Mexico families, Farmington, Clovis, and to our brothers, our First Americans, as I like to refer them, our Native brothers. And don't wish to forget anyone, and if I did, please forgive me. And we're going to put this on Facebook, so do write back and say, Consuelo, one, we forgive you, but don't forget about a community that may be I have forgotten. I'm not doing this through a script. I'm simply speaking to you from my heart. It is said that Mother Earth has put us on a timeout. And I like to believe that that's probably very true. We didn't see it coming. It is here, and it will forever change our lives. But while we're on timeout, let's tune in. Let's stay connected. Let's remember to be grateful. Let's think about what we can do, where we are at. The FLI, one of our lessons is about the past, the present, and the future, and how we can bring along some of the suffering and the pain if we don't talk about it, we don't process it, and get ourselves through that storm. Someone said, this is not the time to say get over it, but rather let me help you get through it. Such beautiful words. The FLI is still alive. It is in you. It is in what you are still doing for your children, leading them. I want to especially give our thanks to all our teachers, our school board members, our superintendents. What a difficult days they must have had it early on, and what heroic acts they're doing. No, it's not a perfect system, but it's something that has raised our consciousness as parents who now are at home with our kids, and perhaps even with children with special needs. It can be frustrating that we're looking for answers. We need perhaps more help. Again, let us think about our teachers, our parents as well. They have children. They also now have this complexity of things that they have to do, and to do it quickly, and now virtually. So let us not look for blame or the imperfections of our new life today. I want to remind us in this humble message about the 8 strategies that we learned in the FLI, because I think more than ever we need them. The first one is to communicate with love. We don't have to be right, even if we're right. We're not in a contest, or should we hold on to an emotional scorecard? Communicate with love. And that means, children, your love language can be to help out with the family chores. Parents' love language could be to now sit at the table, go over some board games or read a book out loud. And love can be interpreted so many ways, but make love at the forefront of your language during these times. Speaking of soft voice, we're going to be together, maybe just a few feet from each other, at most 24/7. Let us speak in a soft voice. I know that for some of us culturally, it's not comfortable to look at each other and make eye contact, but we need to do that. I encourage that we try, because it shares what is inside of us through this marvel of our eyes. Perhaps they can see the soul and our heart, and I just know that as you're looking at me right now, I hope you can see how much I love you, how much I miss you, how much I worry about you. Respect each other. There's so much that as parents you are worried about, and in the tensions of what is first, what's second, what is a want, what is a need, that there might be some debates that happen, there might be some disagreements. And so I hope that the next step is that we don't blame. We're all in this together. As leaders, we're problem solvers. We can learn to seek to understand, listen more, speak less, so that we give each other, in being still and quiet, the other person to speak, so that our children can also be heard. Be consistent. That really gives our children a feeling of security and comfort, because what you did on Monday, you continue to do on Tuesday and Wednesday. It gives them a sense of normalcy, yet in a world that is far from being normal. And whoever it is that we might lose our patience or temper, well, let's just try to look through their lens, through their window. As the cliche says, walk in their shoes, right? I've thought about these strategies. I'm here at home. My children are in different places in the country. I have a mixed family. I have a blended family with other members of this beautiful community, and we're being tribal. you know, and that's how I was raised. I was raised that my mother would make a little bit too much of something, and off one of the Castillo kids would go with a bocadito or a small offering. And of course, something would come back that the other neighbor would share. And so I think that being tribal, being together, being closer to each other is one of the gifts that we can take out of this pandemic. We have technology. I mean, look, going on Facebook to connect with you. So let me know what you've been up to. What have you continued to put into practice from the FLI? I know the school district had to cancel our work, and I thank those that have, bought our book or thinking of bringing us on a virtual platform. We've been busy trying to get ready for that opportunity because we don't want to be gone too much. We miss you. We're here to serve. Remember that the first lesson of the FLI is that leadership starts at home. So don't let anything get in the way of you being that leader at home who leads with love, leads with compassion, and leads with a vision that tomorrow we'll get better, we'll get through this together. And I close with these words that always remind me of my having gone through some very dark times in my life, that this too shall pass. This pandemic will not take my free will, nor will it take my unwavering faith. I offer you love, I offer you peace, and my prayers are with you every day. Take care.